Hello, hi guys, I hope you're good. I'm also fine. So welcome back to my YouTube channel and I hope you are doing great. So you're going to have a conversation about everyone has their own version of behind. Most of us, we have our New Year resolutions that we wrote back in January or even in December. But saizi malituko, we are feeling like, hey, will I be able to achieve this? Or will I be able to make the difference that I want? So we are going to talk about everyone has their version of behind, because most of us, we're in the rat race. We are feeling like I'm behind, I'm behind, I'm behind. But if you hear the story of the other person, you'll be like, I'm in a better place, or I'm not doing bad. So I always say that when you hear other people's stories, it will strengthen you, it will encourage you that you're not doing badly off. Because truth be said, if you are feeling like you're down, there's always someone above you, there's always someone below you. And the reason is, you can look at someone below you and thank God that at least I'm here because of your grace. And thank God because I'm not like in the very bad state, but I'm at least somewhere. But if you focus on the person above you, you'll always have the feeling of being behind, the feeling of I'm not doing well enough, the feeling of things are not working for me. So the person below you will help you to be grateful and to always thank God. And the person above us just need to be there to challenge us that we don't settle for less, we don't feel comfortable, but we look at them and we are like, there's still more mountains to be conquered. So what's your behind? Maybe I can ask this question. What's your behind? Because I'm not saying you type it, but I'm just saying, just ask yourself, like, Maggie, what's my behind? Because everyone is feeling they're late in one thing or the other. So some of the things that people are feeling like I'm behind, some it's marriage. Maybe they're in their 40s, they feel like they don't have that hope. They feel like maybe I'll not get a man to marry me, or maybe I'll end up to be alone, or maybe I will not I will spend the rest of my life alone. So they're feeling that they're behind, and the feeling of being behind is very dangerous because it will make you to compromise, it will make you to do shoddy things, it can make you to compromise a lot, it can make you even to do worse decisions in your life. It can even make you to find yourself where you are like, I wish I was happier the way I was before this. So the pressure of feeling behind can make us to do awkward things, things that are against our values, against our principles. She was just feeling behind and she was like, Yamu, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. And I was like, God's time is the best. And then she got married. And I'm telling you, it was hell on earth. When I look at her, I'm like, where did you go wrong? And she's like, I'm done. I don't want it again. I wish I could have had you. I wish I could have waited upon God. Because anytime you're in a rush, you'll always end up getting Ishmael. So if you want Isaac, patience is key. Number two, some people are behind financially. Life is very funny because what you have is what someone else wants. Sometimes I feel like, can we just exchange? Like, take this, you take this. Have you noticed? Maybe there's someone who they are married, they are happy, they are feeling well, but they're struggling financially. But there's this person who is single, chopping life with two spoons. They have everything, but they're trusting God for marriage. That is what God told Saul, my grace is sufficient. It means God's grace is sufficient for us. And it means that is the equalizer of life, that you cannot have everything. There's always something that you admire in someone. And it is worse when you're admiring peace of mind. Because for me, I rather lose everything but maintain my mental state, my peace of mind. So if you are looking at the other side, they always say that the grass is greener the other side, because you feel what they have is what I want. But if they give you what they have plus their problems, you'll always tell them, just take this, your problem. Because I was listening to this pastor who was saying, there's this pastor who one day, women were complaining a lot about their husbands. So every time after church or during the week, women will go to church and just see the pastor and complain, my husband is drinking, my husband is cheating. my husband is not working, my husband is not providing, my husband is not doing this. So there was a lot of complaints about husbands. And then one day this pastor said, I want all the women to write down the issues they have with their husbands and bring them to church. So this pastor was the one who was giving the story. So I don't know how true the story is, but it makes a lot of sense that you can learn from. So every woman went and wrote, my husband is this and this, everything. And they brought to church. And pastor said, throw all the papers there. So it was a heap of papers. And pastor said, everyone to pick one. So people were picking things and they were like, no, return for me my problems. Return for me my problems. Hey, you mean these people are going through this? Because sometimes you feel your problem is so big until you sit with other people and listen to their problems, and then you realize my problem is kindergarten. There are people who are in the universities or doing PhD when it comes to problems. So this was a lesson to us that appreciate what you have and don't focus on other people's achievements, because even with the achievements, there's something they are praying and trusting God for that you have. And some people are behind because they don't have children. So the people who they have the money, as we can see, they have everything, but now don't have a child. So you that you have children, you are complaining about you don't have finances. But remember, always thank God for what you have, because what you have is someone else's prayer. Again, there are people who are, of course, struggling financially, and for them the prayer is God open doors for us. So one thing I believe, and I remember one time I was seeing this client, and I was telling this client, I don't believe that God can deny you everything. Because of course it was a case of like looking for a shelter, and it was not a good case. It was, the client was suffering a lot, and when you try to assess the support system, everything was zero. The children, the siblings, the ward. And me, I just told that client, by the way, I don't believe God can deny you everything. And even right now, as I'm recording this video, as watched this video, I don't believe that God can deny you everything. In this life, God will give you a pillar to lean on. Maybe this pillar is your children. Maybe you are suffering, but as you look at those children, they're the pillar. Okay, let me explain. As human, we are being driven by pleasure or pain. And what gives you pleasure, your brain will always flood it a lot, because it gives you a lot of pleasure. Whether it's drugs, whether it's relationship, whether it's whatever. What gives you pain, your brain will always protect you from it, even if it's a good thing, even if it's just getting out of your comfort zone, even if it's starting a new business. It's a good thing, but because it's getting out of the familiar, your brain will project it as a threat and a bad thing. That means it will project all this as pain. So one day I'll do a video about why, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling depressed, what you should do. But I always believe that God will give you one pillar. The pillar might be your children. The pillar might be your mother. The pillar might be your siblings. The pillar can be your spouse. The pillar can be, like, God will always give you at least one source of strength. One thing that you look at and you are like, I'm grateful. The pillar can be your job. People are jobless, but you have a job. Business are being closed day and night, but yours is thriving. So that is my belief. I always believe God will never give you nothing. That's why even in the Bible, even the widow with the two sons, okay, she didn't have any other thing, but at least a pot of oil. So me, that is my belief, guys. Me, I don't believe aki Mungu anakuacha tu zero. So you can't outrun a sense of not being enough. You can't compete with that demon. You can't outrun the thought of not being enough. You can't outrun it. You can only kill it. So you'll always feel inadequate. We'll always feel hatujafika. We'll always feel we need this, we need that. It's our brain. But the beauty of everything is in the process of acquiring it. But our brain is just working against us. Once you have that car and you drove it for a week or two, the dopamine levels goes back to normal, and now your brain wants another car. Once you build that house, the joy, the thrive, you know, it's in the journey of building. Fundi wants this is happening, this is happening. I don't have money to complete this. I get the money, it's. But once you enter into that house, your brain will be like, man, this is normal. I need something else. I need something to give me the dopamine. So if you don't learn to be contented with what you have, you live in the rat race of chasing until you die. And as I've always said, the real definition of hell is dying and looking at your life and realizing you are living someone else's life. When the script is being played of the kind of life you're supposed to live, and you realize you are living someone else's life, it is hell. So, most of the time, we climb, and then we realize, hey, the ladder was leaning on the wrong wall, and then we crumble. So just make sure that you always do what? Always focus on yourself. Always compete with yourself. I always say, Mimi, people ask me most of the time, Oyamo, you're always happy. Oyamo, you're always joyous. I'm like, why should I be sad? I compete with myself. I audit my life based on where I was yesterday. I don't audit my life with my age mates. I don't know my peers. I don't know my workmates. I don't know my workmates. I don't know. I compete with myself, and I always ask myself every day, what have I done differently today? What new thing have I learned today? And that's all that matters to me. And that is why I'm not sad. I'm not bitter. I don't know, envious and all that, because I know nobody can take away your blessings. If it was meant for you, I'm telling you, even drama will happen for that blessing to come to you. If it was meant for you, it is yours. The same thing even in relationship. If that woman was meant for you, stop compromising, stop suicidal thoughts, stop I don't know what, stop soliciting for advice and soliciting for. If it was meant to be, it will be. If it was meant to not to be, no matter how you fight, no matter what you do, you are just healing the symptoms, but you are not healing the underlying issue. So be that person who compete against themselves, because it will never be enough. It's like you have this endless pit. You keep putting and putting and putting and putting, and it will never jar, like it will never be full. It is you to look back and say, I think my sanity, my peace of mind, my mental health is what is important. Let me slow down. That is why I love what Lingugi is doing, because most people are relocating to the village. You see videos of people who have started from scratch, people who are relocating to the village, people are doing things, people who are mentally stable, people who are happy. Happiness ya kufeki Nairobi. People who are happy, they're eating healthy foods, and there is real love, there's real community, there is abundance. But as we are here, always wearing suits, every time we are walking down the streets, but we are mentally ill, we are mentally frustrated, we are not even having time to relax, because the bills are making us to go mad. The bills are making us to have sleepless nights. So guys, just live below your means and compete against yourself. Above all, trust God and always pray that God will help you. Always take your burden unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. Always trust in God, pray, and let God be God. If God has not answered, here's the reasons. Waiting is not denial. Delay is not denial. Just ask yourself, what can I learn in this journey? What lessons can I pick in this wilderness? What am I learning from this? How will I be a blessing to someone years to come about what I'm going through? How will I turn my pain into purpose? And how will this be a blessing to someone else? So thank you guys. Just know that everyone has their own behinds. I don't know you are behind, but know that no one has it all. And that will make us to always pray, always trust in God, and always appreciate one another and appreciate what we have, because even what we have is someone else's prayer point day and night. If you reason like that, you'll always live a life full of gratitude, full of thanksgiving. You will always glow, you will always be happy, and you will always be thankful to God for giving you every day another day to wake up and to do what you can do. So for now, bye bye.